flying catch wrestling, please don't think that I love jiu-jitsu. Please don't think that I'm saying that one's better than the other. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just trying to show you some little variations. The legs, my base. People ask me all the time, how do you stay on top forever? The key to staying on top is, number one, your base. No matter what position. If you don't have a solid base, you got nothing. It's like a foundation to your house. Number two, shoulder or hip control. Shoulders take precedence. Controlling the shoulders takes precedence, and you'll live on top. You'll live wrestling, right? Mm-hmm. You're gonna live on top for a long time. Now, if I'm in a good head and arm position, or case katana, whatever you want to call it, this foot and this foot have two different purposes, okay? This is my jack leg. This is my drive leg. You see how they're aligned? This leg has no business driving in. It is not aligned properly for that. That's why we call it scientific wrestling. That's stupid. This leg is for getting my butt off the ground. Did you hear him? Yeah. Okay, it's all pressure game. Pressure, 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 pressure. This position alone, I've had guys tap before I did this mission because just working so hard on the position. And I'm a heavy guy. I lost a little bit of weight though. Yeah, I'm down to about 242. I'm pretty excited about that. I had my last PT test, so that's the only reason I know. Now, you've got a couple different options here, but I want you to get this grip. Just like you would on a good case of katana. Just getting right above that bone here. Now, when I grab it, I squeeze, I pull it up a little bit, because I can only be so heavy, right? I can create my trash compactor effect by pulling them up into me a little bit. Now, two options with this arm. I can find one of my favorite arteries, the brachial, and pull that up, push my head down, and by pulling his head up, what does that also stop? Try to bring your legs up to trap my head. It's not gonna happen, you're neck cranking yourself. Okay, so there's one. Your other option, which is a little more comfortable, a little easier, is the padlock on the hamstrings. Now I number the tendons, 1 through 4. And the first one, I go inside out, so that's my number 1 tendon. I keep it right here like this. So again, now I'm gonna put the pressure. So bear with me. I'm gonna go here, tighten everything down. My butt's off the ground. Now this leg comes into effect. See how it's angled? Drive in, find that floating rib. How are we feeling? The diaphragm is being attacked right now before I do anything. I'm taking the life out of him. Every time he breathes, that diaphragm is closing down. How are we feeling? You breathing still? Are you dabbing? I haven't done anything. You gotta shut down the diaphragm. So we're taking a position and turning it into a ride. Mm-hmm. We have to take every position and turn it into a ride. The less of me that's touching the ground, the more he's carrying. And when you do that to somebody enough, you're gonna find out how much they really wanna be on the mats in that competition. They start looking for a way out. And we've all seen it, if we've been to enough tournaments where somebody really finds out that maybe I don't belong in this sport. You know, they kind of, and God bless them, they had the courage to take the mat. But you'll see people, they're just like, I'm getting the tar kicked out of me. I just choke me, dude, basically. I give up position, you know they just gave up. This is the kind of pressure that creates that. Okay, so pressure, pressure, pressure. Against the bone, here, lock it down. Pull that ball joint out a little bit. Take all the strength away from that arm, just there. Jack leg, drive leg, sit out a little bit, just relax. How we doing?
Your ass is completely off the ground.
I'm not trying to create a submission. And if it's not a submission, it's a rip. Rubbing induced pain. I'm not really rubbing anything. We talk about always doing damage, right? If he's not hurting the entire time, I'm failing myself and my team.
Kind of reminds me of a modified.
Okay, now.
Yeah.
Run out of air, yeah.
Because the diaphragm is constricting. Every time he breathes out, it cannot refill. So as the air goes out, what happens? You're eventually suffocating. So it's a suffocation, just from the position.
So is this more so kind of like a modified 100 kilos?
Well, 100 kilos is normally over here, right?
Right.
So kind of like a Kizori Casey Tommy or over under.
So this is how you do the move you're talking about with the arm over the top.
Yeah.
You've seen Sergio tap people out from this position, same exact concept.
Yeah, I've seen the one arm. He actually inspired me with the psychotic one arm thing where I went nuts with it. I wrote it to him. I wrote inspired by Pat Stano and Sergio Pena. And he gets your inspiration from your coaches to go a little crazy, right? So yeah, I love the 100 kilo stuff. I was telling my wife about it because I teach it over unders and catch, you know, a little different style, but it's the same position, the same crap. We're just doing different methods, that's all. So anyways, here locked up, instead of going for the arms, because we always want to get here, oh, I'm gonna go Americana, I'm gonna go arm bar, I'm gonna go into all this stuff. I'm gonna attack what's readily available. I'm gonna go for the neck and the head. So we're gonna do 2 neck cranks and 1 choke. And they're the easiest in the world, and they're my favorite. Okay, and these are quick kills. So I have one guy named Johnny Zhang. He's a blue belt. I think he's up to his 10th Naga belt. He's been training like a year and a half, and this is all he does. From like 2 private lessons. He trains down at Martinez Jiu-Jitsu in Philly, one of the nicest guys in our heavyweight. He goes, Joel, I get a takedown, I go to head and arm, and then I just do what you showed me. I said, okay, fair enough. So he goes, I get here, he goes, and I can hear that. He goes, the life starts coming out. He goes, the first thing I do, I take his pulse. So I have Alan's carotid ready to be blocked off with a nice tight grip here. Okay? I'm gonna take these 2 fingers. You guys see the punch chokes a lot? Maybe you've seen the variations of the punch choke. Sometimes guys will call them Ezekiel choke. It's a little different, to be honest. Yeah, it's a little different than the Ezekiel, but it's the exact same idea. Exact same idea. We call it, like CSW with Paulson and Catch, we call it a punch choke. But I'm gonna take his pulse, and I can't take Alan's pulse at my fist, especially if he's got his chin tucked. But what I can do is use my 2 knuckles just like I've used my 2 fingers to take his pulse. So the 3 arteries that we're always attacking are what? The carotid, the brachial, and the femoral. That's how we create all that pain in those arteries right there, because they're all pressure points that, like the worst pressure points that we can find. So this is obviously our best friend because it's just down the blood. So from here, I have a clear path to Alan's neck, and I'm not going to, we don't even want to do this. Okay, I'm going to keep you comfortable. I'm sorry.
Sean, is your
I've
middle
lost
name
my-
Alan?
Huh?
That's Sean.
It doesn't matter right now, but my name's Sean.
It ain't Sean. You assholes.
It doesn't matter.
All right, Alan. So here we
There you go.
You're Alan, damn it. The rest of you guys. Why didn't you tell me, man? I feel like the biggest dighead on earth now. Thanks a lot. And I do it all the damn time. I apologize. I wholeheartedly apologize.
Alan.
So Sean
From now on.
is in position, his neck is open. So why start messing with the arm when the head and neck are undefended? Just because I have his arm trapped doesn't mean I need to attack it. It has been neutralized. It has been removed from the equation for the assault. So 2 fingers, I come in, I want you to touch the trachea first and then slide off to the side, because a lot of guys come on that pressure point on the side and they miss it. It hurts, but it ain't the same. Find the trachea and then slide right in there to find like you're gonna take the pressure, like you're gonna take his pulse. Now you feel him move a little bit. I'm not gonna do much else. Look at my leg. I'm gonna point my foot over there towards my wife, and I'm pushing my leg that way as I punch. How much does that take?
Not much.
Less than an inch. It has to be, and this is with my butt on the ground.
You did it again.
Absolutely. Well, let's put the pressure on now, okay? So here I am, God bless you, okay? This is up, this is driving, he can't breathe. I take that leg off the ground, done. That's your fist choke, or punch choke, I'm sorry. Fist choke's different. So that's your punch choke. You guys with me? Did you get that okay? Now, this is the other 2 attacks I'd like to do. One of them is the one Barnett finished Lister with. We're gonna do that one last because the arm is still here. The second one, this is my favorite neck crank in the world because it's excruciating, it's very fast, it's a quick kill. We're always looking for quick kills on and off the mat. I don't play points. I need to, because it's cost me a few times, but I'm a submission freak, so I just go after him. But what I want to do this with the neck crank, I have to pin his shoulders, because what we have a tendency to do, especially as heavyweights, is we get the hold of the head and we just start pulling with all that muscle and that strength, and there's no need at all, none. I don't care how much you weigh. But what I have to do is move up a little bit. I have to pin these shoulders better for better control. So I'm going to move my body up to right here. Now, this hand that's underneath is going to go 45 degrees across the back of his head. I call it the sunrise crank. This goes here. This hand, as funny as it looks, is going to come over the top here and pull his head in tight to my body. Okay? I sit out, and now imagine his spine, how it's lined up down here towards his groin. One line, right? That's how I roll my body. So I let my hips swing out, elbow up, pull in tight, and then roll up this way. Now he's very flexible, and that's still only a couple inches. That's your basic sunrise crank. Okay? It's a beautiful crank. It's my favorite neck crank, and I do a lot of neck cranks. So neck cranks are not as dangerous as you think. They really aren't. My neck's jacked up from other stuff, but I've probably been neck crank more than anybody. So that's how you learn them, right? So 45 degrees, palm up. 45 degrees, palm up. What's that doing is it's turning his head a little bit, because I want to take his ear to his sternum ideally. That's the goal for a good neck crank, is either taking the ear to the sternum or taking the ear to the spine. Okay? So, and that was still, my ball was, I put a whole lot of weight on that, because I don't want to kill Sean. Okay? I want to come across the top. Never talking to you guys ever, you know this. So, take my butt off the ground a little bit. I need to put pressure on him, but remember, I scooted up. I scoot it up to get maximum, because I don't want his shoulders to come a centimeter off the ground. They can't. They can't. This has to be all head away. So I come in tight. I'm gonna pull him as tight as I can to my head, elbow up. That elbow rotates center line right down the spine for my tap. You guys with me? Okay, so butt off the ground, how far? 1/4 inch. I just say piece of paper. If you can get a piece of paper under there, 1/4 inch, just enough. You don't have to bridge because you're going for a ride. Jack leg, drive leg, they have different purposes. They are not the same. Don't drive with your jack leg, okay, and don't try to push yourself off the ground with that one, it doesn't work. They're not lined up right, look at it. That makes no sense. This is your jack leg. This one drives in. There's no chance of me going this way now. A lot of guys freak out in this position, they feel like they gotta get so low like this. And if that works for you, don't change it. I'm not telling you to change something that's not broke, but just give this a look. Maybe you wanna add it to your toolkit, right? So get here, and once you get your fist choked, you need me to go through it again? Punch, you want me to do it real quick?
Yeah.
Yes, no?
Yes.
Just so we got it, gotta talk a lot.
Sean, you need to see it?
Sorry. You need to see it?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, go on. Mike, please. It is, Mike, right? Just making sure, guys.